I know, I just did this about 2 hours ago at a show, so I should be able to pull it off. Okay, maybe I will. So, no, I think I'm good. So at the very beginning of the show, when I thank the host, I say, let's just call it Linda. So I want to thank Linda so much for having us here. And I met Linda a couple weeks ago at Kathy's house, and Linda thought that it would be really, really fun to invite you guys over to learn some new recipes and just have a really great time and get together. And to thank her for that, Pampered Chef has a very, very generous hostess program. So this is one of the funnest things about my job, is that I get to take my host on this wonderful shopping spree. And Linda's going to get to shop through the catalog and pick out whatever she wants. And there's no limit to how much she gets to choose. And as a thank you for having us all here today, she will not pay full price for anything. So thank you so much, Linda, for having us all here today. So the reason I do that is later in the show, which you'll hear later, I'm going to go through exactly what they get. But at the beginning, it's just this lavish, very, very generous host program. I use that phrase, and I talk about how a host does not pay full price for anything. I don't go into all the detail about everything right at the beginning. So that's one thing I do at the very, very beginning when I thank her. The other thing, and it's also like giving her a gift without actually handing her anything, because it makes her feel really special. The other thing I do is on the front of my catalog, I put a sticky note. And I tell the guests at the very beginning of the show, you're going to hear a lot of great ideas. You're going to hear about great products from me, as well as people sitting next to you on the couch. And by the time we get finished, you're going to totally forget how great that little mini serving spatula that the friend next to you on the couch was raving about. So anytime I talk about anything that you like, I don't care whether it's a product or a recipe or anything, just jot it on that sticky note and just make a big old list on that sticky note. And then at the end, you can go back and kind of pick and choose what you want to get right now. And if you have a lot of things on the sticky note, then you might want to think about having a show so you can go on that same great shopping spree that Linda's going to get to go on. So that's something else I do. But throughout the entire show, I reference the sticky note. So if they're all going nuts about the salad chopper or the deep covered baker, I'm like, oh, that's definitely got to go on that sticky note. Make sure you get that on your sticky note. I'm always referencing that sticky note. So at the end, if everybody has 10 or 12 things on their sticky note, you're going to not only have higher sales, if they don't keep track of anything in the entire hour that you're talking, they're not going to buy as much because they forgot how great that stuff at the beginning was. But if they've got a list of 10 or 12 things and you're constantly reminding them they can get those things free and half price, at the end of the show, they look at that list and they go, oh gosh, I don't want to put all this stuff back, So that's what I do at the beginning.
I love the sticky notes. The sticky notes. My tongue was sticking. Yeah, in fact, Desiree was sitting here going, oh my gosh, I love this idea. You can write right on this. I'm certain of it. You can just... No, I'm just kidding.
Never asked Patsy about that.
I don't think we should do that. Just kidding. Okay. Okay, and there's so many darn cute little sticky notes out there, too. Like you can go to Michael's or Target, Hot Spot, Dollar Spot, whatever it's called. You can get some cute little hot spot, whatever. So, Breanna, tell us, how do you use the catalog to talk about bookings at your show?
Like do this one-handed. So then later, I have to stand up. So then later in the show, I'll at some point towards the end, after I know they've got a big list on their sticky note, I'll say, okay, now remember earlier I told you about that great shopping spree that Linda was going to get to go on, and I mentioned that she was going to get some cookware. That's usually come up throughout the show. So let's turn to page 5 really quick, because I want you to see exactly what you're going to get, so you really understand exactly how this works. So this is our host chart here. So let's say, take a look at, say, the $900 level, for example. At the $900 level, which is not a hard level to reach, you're going to get $190 in free product. So think about that. Look at your sticky note. What would you love to pull off that sticky note for $190 and get it for free? Maybe it's your deep covered baker, maybe it's your manual food processor, maybe it's that Santoku knife. Whatever it is you want, you get to pick it and it's free. And then when you follow that line over, you're going to see the number 3. This is your number of half price items. So once you've picked out your freebies, then you get 3 more items at half price. So that can be some of your higher end stuff. Maybe you want a piece of cookware, or it can be a cookbook. It doesn't have to be something expensive. Whatever you want, your choice, any 3 at half price. And then here's the part where I think it's really great, the 30% discount. The discount discount is wonderful with Pampered Chef because that is on an unlimited number of items. It's not just one item or 2 items, it's as much else as you want. So if you want 20 other things out of the catalog, it's all going to be 30% off. So it's great. You truly do not pay full price for anything. And you don't pay full price for anything for an entire year because we give our hosts a discount for a full year after their show. So whether you're ordering from me or whether you're cheating on me with somebody else, it's okay. You still are going to get your host discount for an entire year after your show. And then, in addition to all of that, there are monthly 60% off items like we talked about earlier. So as you're looking at your sticky note tonight and you're thinking about coming up to place your order, think about all those host benefits and if you'd like to take advantage of that shopping spree.
Okay. Wow. Awesome stuff, I tell you. Oh my goodness. And from one of our audience members that knows you very well. Yeah, wow. I mean, your show average is $975. Your show average. Wow. And it's all about sticky notes. It's about the sticky notes. I have 2 words to tell you. Sticky notes. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm assuming a lot of you in this audience are probably thinking, wow, I would love to have that show average. I'm going to definitely get some sticky notes right after this event tonight. It's going to be a shortage of sticky notes. And you don't even live here. Oh my gosh. But there's a Staples right there. We are all caravan. We're going to caravan down there. They're probably doing it online. In the back, she's like, oh, she's got the sticky note. Be careful, don't show those. People could hurt you. At any rate, so how many of you would like to have more bookings on your calendar for the rest of the fall? Okay. Oh my gosh, look at all these people. Well, obviously you've come to the right place because we're hearing from some of the top, but I would love to hear from Breanna, and I think you guys would as well. Are there any other things that you do to get those bookings?
One other thing I do is I have a binder, and it's got a variety of everything in here. I mean, recruiting stuff, booking stuff, everything. But I have some of these nice, it's messy, sorry. It really is used, it's not for show. But I have some of these nice card stock, and you can print them on just regular paper from the website. And I do take just a second, not a lot of time, but just kind of flip through here and say, you know, when you host a show, you get to help choose what the recipe's going to be. So if you think your friends are going to like jerk chicken nachos or tangy pepper pecan brie or warm nutty caramel brownies that have 40 Rolos baked into them, or if you think they'd rather learn a quick family meal, these are some of the choices that you'll have when you host. Because some people are going to book for the food and for the fun of it and learning new recipes. So just tempting them with some of the other recipes, that's something I usually do. And then the only other one other thing is, and I know those of you who've been around for a long time know this, but I'll say it anyway for the newer people or people that might not know it, but when you hand out your prize drawing slip, always do it at the end. I know that seems obvious, but I've met consultants before, they're doing the prize drawing at the beginning. But the prize drawing has to be at the end. It's not an icebreaker at the beginning of the show. It has to be at the end because people don't know the answers to those questions at the beginning of the show. So always do it at the end, but I also give them instructions when I hand it out, and I'll say, okay, I'm going to hand out a prize drawing, so please fill it out. I am going to give away a prize, but this is your opportunity to let me know if you'd like to take advantage of that shopping spree or if you'd like to take home information about earning extra money with Pampered Chef, either for you or for somebody else. So please fill these out, and I'll come right back around and collect them. And I stand right there in the middle, and I stand there and I wait for them to fill them out so that I don't lose them during that time. So give them those instructions when you hand it out, because otherwise what happens? You get prize drawing slips back that just have names. So you want to make sure you tell them to fill out.
Oh, great. Awesome. Love it. Isn't it awesome? I know. What is she doing? She's setting the expectation.
Absolutely. And people are having fun and they're all salivating.
The 40 Rolos. I saw you write that down.
Did you guys know that?
Yeah, 40 Rolos. That's like rocking. Okay. Well, we're 40 Rolos. Yeah. I think you're right. I tell you. Okay. So let's move to another one of our guests today, Linda. Linda, well, first I want to ask the audience, how many of you are using the booking slide? Are a lot of you using it? Very good. Well, I think we've got a guest here tonight that is going to just fire up that booking slide for you, because I know that she's had... Oh, no, you don't have to do that. How do you use the booking slide, truly, to book shows?
Well, if I need to demonstrate it, I will, but I wasn't planning to. I did bring my booking slide. For those of you who might not have a booking slide, it's definitely worth the investment because, especially for newer consultants, sometimes it's hard to remember all the benefits that you get for hosting a party, and this just walks you through every single one. You can basically just read off of there. And as you get better, then I still use it just because it's a great visual, because when you flip it out there, people are like,
So show the newer consultants, just like...
okay, I'm going to from down to okay, what I'll do, oh my God. Okay, so I'll say something like, okay, so when you host your own show, you're going to get a lot of great benefits. So let me just show you in full color what you're going to get when you host your own show. Oh, isn't that a lot of stuff? That's amazing. And then I'll just go through and basically just read them all. But my big thing is once I get down, and I pulled it up as we're going. So once I get down here to the monthly host special, this is one of my favorite ones, is the 60% off specials. And I really talk about that one a lot. I'm going to come back over here because I need my binder too. Because then I'll kind of set that down or have someone hold it, but I'll go right into my, I have a booking/recruiting binder. So on the outside of my binder, similar to Breanna's though, I put whatever the monthly special is, the 60% off special. So I start off with this and show them, okay, so this is the special for October. When you host a show in October, you could get that roasting pan, the covered roaster, the new one. It's normally $99, but you can get it for only $38. So when you start telling them the actual price of those items, instead of saying 60% off, they're like, okay, 60% off, big deal. But when you say $99, but you can get it for $38, they're like, ooh, wow.
Percentages don't necessarily...
They don't calculate. And even the like the large cutting board with juice wells, I'll say it's $34.50. You can get it for $13.80. And they're like, ooh, $13.80. That's not hardly anything at all. So they get real excited about that. And then I'll go through and I'll tell them, well, there's more ways that you can have shows or different types of shows that you can do. You can do bridal showers and fundraisers. So I just kind of flip and do what Breanna said, talking about different recipes. We can do a happy hour party. We can do a chocolate-only party. We can do a 30-minute meal. Just giving them ideas of different types of parties that we can do. And then I'll go back into the booking slide, and then later I will pass this binder around.
So at what point of the show do you bring out the booking slide and your binder?
I do mine after we finish the recipe. I do a recipe and then we sit down in another room, and pretty much right when we're sitting down in there, after I have people go around and share their name and their favorite product, then I start going into the host benefits and then into recruiting.
So I'm curious, do you get all of your bookings at every single show, or do you get them elsewhere?
Okay, do you all book all your shows at your shows? Because if you do, I want to meet you and talk to you and find out what you're doing. No, there are times that you have to do some follow-up, and one of the things that I put into practice that I think Jean will be happy to hear is 3-2-1. 3 contacts a day. And I really emphasize the 3 contacts a day. And if you can't do 3 a day, it's 15 a week, okay? You gotta do 15 contacts a week. And those contacts are people at your show that said maybe. And usually when they're checking out with the prize slips, I'll say, oh, I see you maybe want to have a party. When were you thinking you might want to do that? The reason people check maybe typically is because they don't want to do it the month I'm talking about, the October. I'm talking about October, and they're like, oh, I can't do anything in October, but maybe November. So great, you can go ahead and book them that night for November, or maybe they're saying January after the new year. I mark it on their prize slip, they go in a little tickler file by the month, and I call them when it's that time to book that month, so that I always have people that I can call. And then there's also vendor events that are around, especially this time of year, where you can meet new people to make your 3 contacts a day.
Can I just interject one thing? I have a question, because I'm sure all of you may. Does anybody pick up the phone? And well, maybe it's before you pick up the phone, you think, I don't know what I'm going to say to these people. So I'm curious if you could just share
what you would say to somebody when you do call them.
Well, it really depends on what's on their price slip. You know, if they've said that they wanted to have a show in January, then I'll say, okay, is it okay if I give you a call when I start booking my January shows? So then I'll just start the conversation and say, hi Trisha, this is Linda with the Pampered Chef. I'm just calling because when we met at Jean's party, you said you wanted to have a party in January. We have some great specials in January. Wanted to see if we could go and get you on the calendar. Now, for customer care calls, it's going to be different though, and we have great scripts on the website. So I would definitely say look there and get some scripts.
Love it. So do I. I love you. 3, 2, 1. Oh my God. It is. You know, when I was, as I said, 32 years ago, when I was in this business, not the Pampered Chef, obviously, because I was just starting, but with Avon, I didn't go home without coming home with at least 3 leads or 3 new contacts of some sort. And again, when you sit there and think Monday through Friday, that's only 15. That's not that onerous. I mean, that's how you build up your clientele. You always have to, otherwise we're kind of swimming in the same pond over and over again, or we run out of kind of the family and friends that I think for new consultants, that is almost the most difficult. So make sure at every show you are getting leads, or referrals, or getting that booking right at the time of the show. And if you don't, customer care calls. I mean, there's business all the time. There are no excuses. There really are. Just a matter of getting on the phone or texting somebody, emailing, or whatever it might be. One more question for Linda before that was almost going to be a good segue to our next speaker. What are your thoughts on the importance of how you present yourself at your cooking shows?
Well, first impressions are really important. So the way you look when you walk in the door and when your guests walk in the door is really, really important. And something that I learned from a consultant years ago was she said, when you wear jeans to a party, you're going to get jeans sales. When you dress appropriately, when you dress professional, not just this jean. Actually, if you dress professionally like Jean, you'll get professional sales. And that just stuck with me. I never wear blue jeans to a show because I just feel like it's not professional. I mean, how many offices really allow blue jeans? Some of them do now when they're dress down days, but I just feel like if you want to get professional sales, you need to look professional. And I'm not saying dress like Mary Kay, people, you know, with the suit and everything, and the skirt and the heels and the pantyhose, but I'm sure the guys aren't going to be wearing the pantyhose either, though. Sorry, guys. But know your audience, you know. If it is like a casual Saturday morning brunch, you know, you don't have to dress up really, really nice, but you need to not wear, you know, jeans or khaki jeans, jeans, what do you call those? Capris. Yes, you know, denim I just don't think is appropriate for shows. That's my personal opinion, but I have seen that I think that really helps the sales and helps you present as a professional.
I love that too, because it makes you feel good. You know, I mean, Desiree was saying earlier, you know, sometimes if you're a stay-at-home mom and you're just like changing diapers and, you know, it feels good to get dressed up and, you know, put your face on and absolutely. So sometimes it's not even just for the people at your shows, but it's for you as well. And that goes for the guys too. You know, you don't have to wear a bow tie or anything. Just get a little spiffy.
I'd love to see that.
Well, I do agree. I think, you know, just black slacks or something are always just an easy thing to do. Oh, a wrinkled apron is a wrinkled apron. Yes? Yeah. Yeah, ooh. Yeah, ew. Wash your apron. Ew, okay.
We're the Pampered Chef. I just expect that we all do that. A little moment. a little summer, a little personal summer. On that note. Okay. Oh, well, that's true. Speaking of Facebook. Good transition. If you're doing Facebook shows, okay, well, our next guest is somebody that I've gotten to know over the last several months, right, Trisha? Yeah.
who is doing a combination of cooking shows and Facebook shows, and I really underscore that because how many of you have tried Facebook shows or have been hearing about Facebook shows? Wow, a lot of you. Well, we did this segment of the dish at Sizzle in Denver, and one of the things that I just really underscored to everybody that was there, and I'll say it here